Right, this video is when you no longer have any heat in your dryer, so it spins, everything stays wet and cold, and all the lights on your panel flash at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the dryer out, get at the back of it, unplug it, and do a continuity test. So back of the dryer, make sure it's plugged out. You'll have another number of screws in the back of the cover here, and behind here is going to be your heat element, your unit, and your thermostats. Some of these dryers, mine's a Candy one, some of these dryers have elements, have thermostats at the front of the dryer, but I know from a previous issue that I had that it's definitely a thermostat in the back. So I'll take off the cover and I'll show you where it is. So the cover's off. This is your heater element. These are your two thermostats. As far as I know, this is the cutout one. But I know from mine, I recently replaced the heater element. So usually the first place you should look at is the condition of this. Now my last one, there's like kind of cardboardy type material inside here, and then a load of kind of what looks like springs or coils. I'll show you. So it'll be fairly obvious if it's your heater element that's gone for condition, doing a condition check, how bad it is. But for mine, that's fairly new, so I'm pretty confident it's one of the thermostats. So what I'm going to do is do a continuity check. Can't even say that. And I'm going to try and pinpoint where the problem is. Now, if it's neither of these or the element, then I definitely know it's to do with one of the thermostats at the front. But hopefully I won't have to do a video on taking the front off. So get your multimeter. This is your continuity test here. Looks like a little sort of speaker. Or sound wave is what I meant, sorry. So you get a number 1. So basically what you're looking for is to put your two right, that's a better position. I was trying to do that with one hand. So basically for your test is, as you should be able to see from there, yeah, you can. You basically want to see if you're getting continuity through this thermostat. So it's staying on 1 and I'm getting nothing basically. I'm getting no readings off that. I'll check my other thermostat. So I have continuity through there. Just double check. Okay, so basically I know I need to replace this thermostat. So I'm going to check and see where I left it. Alright, so just for one more check. So I basically know that I have a problem with this thermostat. And before I did this video, I'd already done all my checks. And I've been able to purchase the right thermostat on eBay, and you can put in serial numbers which you'll find on the inside of the door of your tumble dryer if you're unsure. Let's see if I can reach over. Inside the door there is where you'll get your serial number, and you'll be able to look up a different company to get different prices. But I got one on eBay, and I made sure by looking that I was getting the right number. Let me see, 206C. So my plan is to replace this. Now what can happen sometimes, is important to know, is that inside the unit you have some connectors, and sometimes they can become loose as well. So it's always important as you're going along is to make sure that all the connections are right while you're doing your checks. And then before you know what you need to purchase, after you've checked all your connections, it's worth actually plugging it in again and seeing do you have the same issue. But these are about 30 quid This was, I think, £8. So it is worth doing the right checks before you invest. It's also important to always note before you take any connectors off is to note your wiring, where the runs go to, because you might start a job and get disrupted for some reason and come back a few hours later and then totally forget. So it's always worth taking a picture through the stages that you can refer to again. So once you disconnect, you will see there's some tiny little tabs holding that in place, and what you want to do is just get something flat to pry these up, and then you'll be able to remove the thermostat. So this is a new one in place. Bend your tabs back down, as I've just done now as well. Connect your make your connections, and now what's worth doing is do your continuity check yet again. So this is the new one on now. I'm just going to do my check. So I've got my reading, which is good. Just put your screws back on. Final check. That one's a little bit loose. Just tighten that down a little bit more. No movement now, that's good. Well, one more. Put the cover back on. Always make sure when you're putting all your screws in, pretty good seal all the way around. You have a little gasket inside this, and mine is quite worn, so I would advise the next time you're ordering something, you might as well just get a new gasket. So that's it now. Power's back on. Dryer's back on. Do a quick check. So I've got good heat coming out of there. One tip, and probably the reason why my dryer went, is if you open the door regularly while the dryer is spinning, that's more than likely going to burn out your cutoff thermostat. So what I've just did there is paused, waited for the drum to totally stop before opening the door. That's what you need to do to make it last longer. And that's it. Hope it works for you. Cheers.